Hey guys, King of Charmanders here, and we're gonna enter Zygarde. Now, I said earlier videos, if you watched the legendary one about Xerneas and Yveltal, yeah, I said I was going to make a separate video for Zygarde because it's kind of interesting. Well, not really, but the thing about Zygarde is that Zygarde has its own, like, form. So Zygarde, I think this is like its 75% form. It has two different forms, and we're gonna go over that later on, like, the technical summary. So it's really unknown to say if its other forms are going to be a lot more overpowered than its current version. But the reason why it's so interesting is because it's a dragon ground type. So it's basically a legendary version of Garchomp. Well, just not as useful as Garchomp. So Zygarde is Zygarde in history layman's terms, it's basically one of the legendary Pokemon of Generation 6. You find it in a cave, and it has these little core things that are absolutely super adorable, and they've all formed together to create this slug dragon thingy that is... yeah, I don't know who designed it, but you know, it looks kind of cool. I mean, it's got like the diamond shape, it looks like an ancient deity, etc. Anyway, Zygarde's stat pool is very different. So it has a very even stat spread, maxing out at 34, 10, 4. Basically, it can be used in all three leagues. But if I had to look at it, if we look at its capture rate, you can only catch it at 1866. So it's probably going to be used for Ultra League. So just Ultra League or Master League is its best uses. And the thing about Zygarde is that it's kind of it's really interesting. It's weak to Dragon and Fairy, and now you add Ice, which is double weak against it because Dragon is also weak to Ice. However, you do resist Electric, Fire, Poison, and Rock. So it has a very interesting, like, stat pool. Just because it does sport a high defense and stamina stat, but because its attack's at 34-10, it may or may not be actually good in this meta. Another problem is its moveset. So Zygarde has Dragon Tail, Outrage, Bite, Earthquake, Hyper Beam, greatest move ever, don't ever dispute it. That along with Solar Beam are the two most powerful moves in all of existence. I'm just kidding. They're real. Like, it's funny that this thing has Beam. Not a lot of legendary Pokemon from 9.0 actually have Hyper Beam, other than, like, Mewtwo. So, it's really, well, that one for Mewtwo's a legacy, too, so. As you see here, you have Earthquake, Zen Headbutt, Bind, Dragon Tail. So, it has, you also have Bulldoze and Crunch. So it has a very interesting move pool. Here's the problem. It just has its fast moves aren't really that great. I mean, Bite and Dragon Tail are probably okay. And it has a very I guess that's what's really weird about the legendaries for Generation 6 is that they have really great charge move pools. Like, their charge pool pools are, like, amazing and versatile. However, their fast moves are less than ideal. Unless it's Yveltal, because Yveltal has some decent, like, it has a decent, like, fast move pool. Of course, with every legendary, expensive to power up for a second move, 100k, 100 candy as well, and you can catch it at 1866 minimum at level 20, so you can probably only use this thing for Ultra or Master League. Again, we don't know if Zygarde's going to get, second form is going to be a lot stronger than its first, so I wouldn't, like, count it out too much as far as, like, value for PvP, etc. Alright, so rather than look at the entire picture for PvPoke, we're going to look at just specific ones. Of course, here's PvPoke.com. My favorite part of this is the Matrix. As you see here, I already put Zygarde with a record-ready moveset. I also gave it a second one with Bulldoze and Crunch. Now, as you see here, we're going to run the Matrix, and we get... it's kind of bad. So you beat Charizard. You beat Charizard pretty convincingly. You lose against a lot. Remember, we're only going to analyze the one shield just to save time. As you see with the Bulldoze version, you do win the one shield against Empoleon, but I think that's you have to bait. Otherwise, yeah, you have to bait. You beat Gear A, but you beat Gear A and O with the Dragon Tail variation, but you lose against a lot of things. The good thing is you beat Melmetal. So you beat Melmetal pretty convincingly, as well as Armor Mewtwo and Alolan Muck, because you do resist those Rock Slides. So it has You also beat Snorlax and so this is kind of an interesting core breaker because you actually beat the like Ultra League core in a sense. You beat Melmetal, you beat Gira, and you beat Swampert in the one shield, which is really interesting. So, and you beat Toxic Venusaur. But like I said, it's just really interesting. As far as Ultra League goes, I wouldn't say it's like the best thing in the world, but you know what? It's like a 4. You lose against way too many things. You lose against Cresselia, Dragonite, Dripblim, etc. Anything with Dragon Breath and anything that with Moonblast will all absolutely destroy you. And it's just yeah, it's what it is. Again, we don't know if we're gonna get a Master League version or like the second form is gonna be mad good. So we don't. I wouldn't rule out it being second form possibly being good. Now this is Master League. As you see, Master League is probably its best performance because Zygarde's at 3410, but because other Pokemon max out so high and there's like so much versatility in Master League, I don't think it's gonna be that impressive. As you see, you beat Conkeldurr. The Bulldoze version does beat Dialga, barely in the one shield. You beat Gear A, you beat Gear O. You also beat Ho-Oh, Heatran, Melmetal, Raikou, Rhyperior, Snorlax, and Swampert. So it's not it's kind of bad. It's like bad, but not horrible, you know what I mean? It's not like a Wobbuffet where if you throw it in Master League, it would die to practically everything. So it does have some positive matchups. However, not the best thing in the world to use, unfortunately. It's just, the reason why I did it separately is because Zygarde does have a second form. So this is something you might want to look out for, just in case its second version comes out. However, if this version stays the way it is, you might not want to go after it. Just get your dex entry. As you see, Zygarde versus Xerneas and Yveltal, Yveltal has moves, Snarl and Gust give it play. Zygarde and Xerneas just don't have a great fast move. If it had a good fast move, it would be really good. For example, if Zygarde had Mud Shot, just like Garchomp had, it would be really interesting to use because it has so much utility, you know what I mean? But without the lack of that, Zygarde isn't the best thing in the world. You might as well use Garchomp, for Master League anyways. But here's what makes it interesting. So if you look over here, if you look at the forms that Zygarde has 2 other forms. 50% form, 10% form, and then you got Megatron. So it's really interesting just how these Pokemon will play out and just how like its other forms will come into play. Because like I said, it looks really cool, but not only that, like we just don't know how the other forms, how strong and powerful they will be. So I would keep Zygarde like really like open because this looks sick, and if I'm right, they're probably gonna make it really overpowered, but we'll see about that, like when you finally get to it. Alright, so I give Zygarde like a 6 out of 10. It does beat some Metamons, and if you do look at the Matrix here in the one shield, here's what happens. It does win, like, it's 69% close if you round it up, so it's okay. Would I recommend you use it? No. However, it's not completely horrifying. I would say, rather than this version, the data we got now, I would say be more excited about future versions of Zygarde, because like I said, future versions of Zygarde, a lot better. As you see in Master League, it does have a lot of play in the one shield. But, like I said, it's really unknown. Unfortunately, because its stat pool is just so godforsakenly bad, as you see here, 172, 175, 200. Well, it has decent stats. The stats aren't really the problem, it's just its moveset, just like with other Pokemon. Fortunately, Zygarde suffers just like a lot of other legendaries where they don't have great movesets. Because of that, it limits their ability and playability in Go Battle League. Zygarde is no different. Now, you might be able to use Zygarde in Master League. That's something spicy. However, Zygarde doesn't really, like, compared to, like, Garchomp, like, it just doesn't do it. Because Garchomp has Mud Shot, here's what happens. Ironically, if you have the one shield with Garchomp and with Zygarde, they actually do the same thing for Master League. So, it's just really interesting just how everything plays out. And you can use Garchomp in Master Premier. So, it's just really interesting how everything plays out for, like, these 2 dragons. However, that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys liked it, please like and subscribe. I want to do this video because a lot of people do like Zygarde. Unfortunately, it's not going to be a beast until the foreseeable future, until we know more information about it and more of its forms. Well, we have the info here. It's just, I would say look forward to its other forms, because its 50% form isn't going to rule PvP very high. We're looking for the complete form. Hey, even the 10% form will do very well. Anyways, you guys have a good one. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Happy Thanksgiving if you do celebrate that. Happy Thanksgiving. And again, Zygarde may be interesting in the future, so look out for it. And I will see you guys on the next video.